Reggie Ponder, the real critic. This week, I'm going to talk about the movie Where's Daddy? Who's in it? Well, this is hosted by Rael Dowdell with a host of men and some women talking about the legal system and child support. What's it about? It's about the legal system and child support. Rael Dowdell examines how the justice system contributes to the absence of fathers in African American families, how it perpetuates the stereotype of the deadbeat black male, and actively contributes to the cycle of kids who really don't have access to their fathers. So what's to like about this film? The first thing, just first and foremost, is that the men get a chance to tell their story. I know in this age of Me Too, it's like, well, men, you've been talking for so long, so you've always had a voice. But not in this case. Men, the scales are lopsided in this regard as it relates to men and their children, and men in child support, and men in the legal system as it relates to their children. We also get to see that all black men are not deadbeats. We get to see some men who are educated, who care about their children, some who have multiple children, but we get to see that many men are still trying to figure out how can they contribute to the financial well-being of their children, but as well as be a part of their children's life from a mental and physical perspective as well. We also see in this film how judges are biased and would rather lock a man up than try to figure out how to help these men become financial contributors to their family. 90 days in arrears and how many men are locked up. I mean, some of this stuff will just absolutely boggle your mind as to how men are treated as it relates to child support. And we also get to see we get a sense of what some women think about this. And I applaud Rael Dowdell for doing this, is that including some women in here so you can get a little bit of perspective of how they feel and what they think about this as well. We get a perspective about some important questions. There's that age-old question that men always ask, well, what are they going to do with the money? And there's some discussion about that and why women need it and what men think about that as well. How do men feel about being weekend parents? How are kids used as pawns? And then we also get this whole thing about how men many times are made to look like the villain to their children. So now their children dislike them and don't even want to have anything to do with them at all. So I love the fact that we get this male perspective. But what's not to like? Well, there is a little sense of imbalance. And again, I get it. We have to have this perspective from men because we've been so maligned as it relates to our children and child support. I just would have liked a little bit better discussion that included the women. They have some of this, as I said before, and we get an interesting perspective. I would have liked to got a little bit more perspective about some women who understand what men are going through and are saying, you know, I'm on their side. And again, we get some of that. So I'm not saying we don't get all of that, but the people that I really think need to see this film are women. And until we understand a lot about what they're thinking and start to have more of a dialogue about it, this might come off for some women as being more preachy as opposed to a conversation starter. So that's just my little hang up. But I love what he's done there because he understands the issues, he puts them out there, and he puts them out there from a male perspective. So what's my rating? I really like this film because it shows the uphill battle that many men have to fight to gain access to their kids. It shows that battle that they have to stay out of jail and to be treated by respect by the court system. This is definitely worth watching, and I'm saying that you should seek this one out. You can find it on Amazon Prime, and it's playing in some places in the Philadelphia area. This will have you thinking. It will absolutely have you talking, And it actually might get some of you to go out there and do something related to evening the playing field as it relates to men and women and child care, child support, parental rights, all of that type of stuff. I left this movie saying to myself, no kid should have to ask the question, where's daddy? I'm Reggie Ponder, the Real Critic, and I'm giving this one 3 out of 4 reels. See you next time.